Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. Couple-minute riff on IT and IT security. I'm working on a new talk, and one of the things I'm thinking about doing is, and if you see this and you've seen the video and you come to the talk, please act surprised. Don't ruin it for me. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is putting up a safe cracker, right? So starting off the talk, setting up the safe cracker, and it's automated, right? So it spins the dials till it finds the right number, and then giving my presentation while it crunches through the numbers. It takes about half hour, 45 minutes to crack, so that'll work out about right. And the demonstration, of course, the point being, of course, is that time-based security is where we need to think about things. Our ability to prevent is finite, and our prevention is finite, right? So the control will only last so long in terms of a determined attacker, as well as it only lasts so long at that level of control, because once it becomes widespread, the attackers will come up with faster ways to circumvent it. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about Flash, because Flash is like the most prevalent software out there for exploit kits last year. Trend Micro did a report. You know, Flash is now beating out Java and everything else. Specifically old versions of Flash. These kits do drive-by download, exploit this old version of Flash, install some software. The number one being Angler, right? The Angler exploit kit. So you may go, okay, what can we do here? Thinking in terms of balloon tower defense in depth, we can stop the websites at the proxy, so they don't get to the computer with Flash. That will work for computers behind the firewall, behind the proxy. We could put in place something like FireEye and detonate, although that takes some time, right? Especially if you have a large number of hosts, and by the time FireEye notes the problem and gets it to you, it may be a couple hours into the breach and they may have already been infected, potentially. So you could do something like, you know, FireEye appliance, or you know, a next-gen firewall. Did I just say next-gen? Sorry. And the host itself, everyone's like, oh, just get rid of Flash. And that, of course, will buy some time or keep Flash updated. But again, once everyone gets rid of Flash, that protection is going to be gone. The attackers are going to shift. And it's, you know, important to remember that Flash, not too long ago, in terms of IT anyways, was considered security control. Everyone moved to Flash because Flash isn't going to have the same type of security problems we have with HTML and cross-site scripting and everything. So you could say, you know, get rid of Flash. You could say patch Flash, but it can be difficult to patch third-party, right? WSUS won't do it. A lot of patching products struggle to patch things like Flash and what have you. So keep it patched. EMET, you may say, hey, put wrap EMET around it, so that for specific vulnerabilities, it will prevent it. Now there's 17 of them that were being taken advantage of in 2015. 17 Flash vulnerabilities. Of those, I think approximately half, it was 8, would have been prevented with EMET or blocked with EMET. So that would give you at least some level in terms of defense in depth. Now, what happens once that exploit gets on there? So it bypasses firewall, bypasses your advanced threat protection. You have not patched, or the patch is insufficient, or it's an O-day. EMET doesn't stop you, even though EMET's, you know, doing buffer overflow protection and whatnot. Now it's on your box. Well, the whole point of an exploit kit is to install the exploit, right? Is to install that backdoor to gain persistence. So now you're looking at things like application whitelisting, making sure that whatever it's installing won't run. That would work. Running as limited user, that would work. So that whatever it's trying to install, hopefully it doesn't have permissions to load. Setting execution permissions in certain folders, such as the download folder, that would work in some scenarios. So you begin to block it once it's installed. Now, that would prevent it from running. Any one of those things would prevent it from installing and running. If, for whatever reason, it bypasses that, right, again, balloon tower defense, then what's that tool doing? It's going to be beaconing back out. So here's where you're looking at high-level ports, making sure your egress filters are in place, making sure you're doing proxy filtering outbound. This is where you may be looking at ATP on the network layer, right? So instead of on the host layer like a firewall HX, you're looking on the network layer like an NX and looking for that traffic where you can catch it on that side. Interestingly, I've heard cases of HX taking a while and NX catching it before the HX catches it on the FireEye side. Kind of interesting, especially when you have like tens of thousands of machines, right? So those are going to work in concert, and you begin to detect it on the outbound egress point, and then of course you got to move into cleanup. So just saying, don't use Flash. It's a good idea, but what if it was HTML5? What if it was Java? What if it was any number of things? Having a good set of controls for the duration of the attack will extend how long it takes to break into the safe and give you more time on the detection side to detect what's going on and stop. And that's what we need to do. So that's it. Take a look at your own defense in depth today. Let me know what works, what doesn't, what I miss. Have a good one.